say you'll catch me.
Hey, what's shaking, Gemini? Happy May to you. Hope you're great. Sorry I'm getting these a little bit late. I've been recovering. I've been a little bit sick, and I've been very busy with my personal business and a mentoring boot camp that I'm in. Please check your sun, your moon, and your rising. I've broken these into 12 different videos this time instead of the 4 long videos, just to conserve on time for how long it takes for me to produce everything. So I've already shuffled and dealt the cards. Their backs up here. I will be showing you what I have when I flip them. I've already done some channeling here. As you can see, I've got some notes written on the cards here. So I'm going to go through some of that because I heard quite a few things. We had some pop-out messages, and was hearing about a need for mediation in some cases. They were talking to me about, I actually heard the words, someone who doesn't want to fess up. What was interesting was after I started shuffling, this card flew out of the deck, heart-to-heart conversations, and I started getting some completely different messages on that. At first, they were showing me a situation with like somebody needing like a rescue or like a mediation, and they were talking about like a relationship where it was like somebody was like learning something, like they were trying to graduate through a process, and it was kind of like a student-teacher dichotomy they were showing me, but they were saying that it might have more to do with one-upsmanship and somebody that's been trying to take credit or something from some other person, and they were showing me literally like the magician reversed, and I heard fake magician is what I heard. I heard fake magician, and then 2 cards popped out, and I got a whole other viewpoint on what this heart-to-heart conversation was. They showed me somebody 8 months pregnant. I had a message come up similar to that in the Down and Dirty Dailies. I think it was this morning or sometime this week, so you might want to check out my other series. But they were saying something about a shakeup in a relationship. I literally saw a man like sitting upside down between 2 women that were back to back. And it was like the image of Rider-Waite-Smith tarot cards. I saw, King of Pentacles reversed in the middle between a Queen of Cups and a Queen of Wands. And so it looked like a water sign, a fire sign, and some dude that might have Earth in his chart. Just because we saw the different elements there doesn't mean that it had to be water, like a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or an Aries, Leo, Sag. But I literally saw it like that with a man that had a lot of possible Earth in his chart upside down between the middle of them. And what I'm hearing about is a situation coming to light where somebody was really tired of waiting for something, and they were talking to me about business trips that were like not really business trips, or a situation where somebody's been having weekend affairs is what I'm hearing about, and a lot of alcohol involvement and the possible breakup of somebody's relationship. And whether or not that's you, Gemini, I'm just hearing about like a situation going on right now where that might be happening, and they were just saying that it's probably a really good time to reach out for help if you feel like there are things you need to learn about. I was seeing somebody getting a private detective for something, and I was also hearing that it might have something to do with custody, but they were showing me this really about just a need for people to really come clean about something. And I'm hearing it's in a relationship and that somebody's been blocked off about the truth. And it says right here, honestly discuss your feelings with one another. But that's not even your reading right now. These are just some of the pop-up messages that came up in the beginning for somebody. And so I'm thinking it might just be specific to 1 or 2 people, I'm hoping. But yeah, there was a really strong message about somebody needing to speak up about something. In one case, it was about some kind of one-upsmanship situation where somebody was kind of going after another person and like being divisive is what I'm seeing. And in another one, it literally had to do with somebody conceiving and being like pregnant and trying to hide it. and it might be a time to need some help. And so I'm going to go ahead and flip these cards here. I'm going to reorient the screen so you can see what we have here. We used 5 cards as usual. And again, what was interesting was when I was dealing for the personal/romance sector, the angels gave me 2 cards. Like they literally just stuck them in my hand, and I was like, all right, so we're getting 2 here. So in some cases, we're hearing that there might be some decisions in love to be made for some Geminis at this time. So you go ahead and flip them, and I'm going to tell you what we see here for the first part of the month. Using the Carolyn Mace archetype cards for your overall challenge style energy, first part of May. Can you see that? Gemini, the card that Spirit's given us is the Servant card. This is light attributes. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Shadow attributes state using the lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with love. And so, yeah, they were saying something about somebody's money maybe being tied up until like July is what I was seeing. And if it wasn't July, the number 7 was associated with it, which in some cases for me will have an implication on the fact that timing is a factor and that more steps might need to be taken. So they're saying that this is a good situational awareness clue of what might be going on. And I'm hearing for somebody, this servant actually has to do with papers being served and it having to do with whatever came to light. And I think it might have been big because they literally showed me like a tower explosion, and it might be about somebody's pregnancy. And here we go. Physical material realm using the Rider-Waite from the tarot deck. There's another 9. And somebody in bed crying upside down. I'm hearing that in some cases, whatever's been going on for 9 months or went too long or that was hidden is now coming out, and that in some cases it's going to be a humongous relief. But they were definitely talking about somebody that they were looking for that might get their papers this month. And in some cases, that person might also have strong air in their chart if this doesn't have to do with you here, Gemini, which it very well could, because here's a swords card. Gemini shows up as swords. But so do people that have strong air in their constitution, like Aquarius and Libran people. So somebody might be dealing with, a situation with another air person. They're showing, here we go, a real need to speak up. All right, throat chakra showed up on the mind. And that's what I was telling you. I was hearing about something needing to come out, but somebody not wanting to fess up about it. And in other cases, the truth is coming right out. And so throat chakra might be heavy on the mind right now. It's the 5th month too. So again, with the 5 here, kind of interesting. Could have to deal with important truths that are coming to light that in some cases will allow somebody to get a good night's sleep finally. So we're hearing in some cases, it's exactly what you ordered, Gemini. So, keep that in mind. You might want to look into throat chakra clearing, anything that's going to help. And they're also saying for some people, it's really about learning how to eat differently. I'm hearing about some thyroid issues that are keeping somebody up at night. And if that's what this might be about, and they're talking about night sweats, they're saying you might want to see an herbalist about this because it might have something to do with how you're metabolizing. And so I'm hearing for somebody, it might be a throat chakra issue. And so sometimes that's why the 5th chakra, the throat chakra might come up. That is the chakra that actually rules the thyroid gland. So let's see what they say about the personal/romance sector, because we did get 2 cards. One of them says it's safe for you to love here. And so it says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. In some cases, we're hearing that the reason why the sad card showed up with the 2 people being split and like a 3rd person, it might not have anything to do with the love triangle. In some cases it is, where one partner is actually being left for another one. We're hearing about that being why there were perhaps some sleepless nights before. and that whatever the truth is actually going to be a relief for somebody because they've moved on to something better. And I'm literally seeing somebody like whisking this person away from somebody else here. And so we're hearing in some cases it might be a swift departure because somebody might be getting engaged. And they did say shotgun wedding, and I'm hearing in some cases it might have to do because this is like 9 months pregnant or 9 weeks pregnant and being served with whatever heaven delivered, you know. In this case, I'm being told it's a bond in the oven, is what they're telling me. So for somebody, they're just saying, congratulations, you know, there might be an engagement that's coming together here. It says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. In other cases, this could be an indication of just something that's happening this second half of the, or this first half of the month, and it doesn't necessarily have to be yours, but in some situations, they are just encouraging you to have an open heart, and that in some cases, some people might actually meet somebody at some sort of a function. So, again, I just heard you're going to get just what you ordered there, Gemini. So they're saying, you know, some of you have been up maybe stressing out about things that you wanted to say or do, that it's actually going to get a lot better because I really love seeing this card upside down. You know, it's saying that whatever has been stressful and keeping people up at night is perhaps no longer. It's coming to an end. So we got a little bit of practical advice and a prayer tip here from Archangel Michael about spending more time outdoors. They're saying it's really going to help you feel better. So the prayer actually says, I'm going to go ahead and seal it up on this here for you, Gemini. It says, thank you for motivating me to spend more time outdoors, for helping me relax and enjoy connecting with nature. So I'm going to leave you on that tip here, Gemini, and just encourage you to reach out for any help if you feel like you need help with something. I'm hearing again that maybe the servant might have their hands a little bit full, and that maybe that's what this was before that was keeping them up at night, was just maybe a need for some service. And so they're just reminding me that that student image came up in association with a need for mediation. And so in some cases, you know, if there's a need for some assistance with whatever it is that you're doing, especially if there might be a lack of money and maybe a need for assistance with that, they're saying maybe meditating outdoors might be really helpful, and that you might actually have people that you can call on if you're willing to speak up. So I'm going to leave you with that, Gemini, and wish you a very happy first start of the month. In case you get a couple weeks, we're back for another one. Bye for now.